Are they positioning themselves for a predetermined scenario in which there will be a massive stock market crash? Michael Snyder reports. Do they know something that we do not? All of a sudden, hedge funds are betting billions of dollars that the stock market is going to crash. If they are wrong, they will lose a ton of money, but if they're correct, they will make absolutely enormous profits. So why are they feeling so confident that a stock market collapse is in our future? Without a doubt, the real economy has been moving in the wrong direction for quite some time, but for years there have been relentless efforts to keep the financial markets propped up. Could it be possible that there is a scenario in which the financial markets will simply be allowed to fail at some point? And what we are witnessing at this moment is truly strange. We're being told that hedge funds are making a multi-billion-dollar gamble, that there will be a massive market crash. Hedge funds are making a multi-billion-dollar gamble against the U.S. economy, betting Donald Trump's presidency will result in a massive market crash that could devastate 401ks, pensions, and household savings across America. The big hedge funds consistently make money because they are right most of the time, so the fact that they are anticipating some sort of a crash is extremely alarming. According to Goldman Sachs, the amount of money being poured into short bets is absolutely staggering. Data from Goldman Sachs show there has been a surge in short bets against U.S. stocks, meaning traders will make money when they fall in value, in a sign of growing concerns about the market. In January, investors have placed 10 times more bets on U.S. stocks falling than equivalent bets that shares in leading American companies would rise, the investment bank said. As I noted earlier, if the hedge funds are wrong, they stand to lose big. But if they're right, they're poised to make hundreds of millions from a stock market collapse. And while hedge fund billionaires stand to make hundreds of billions from a stock market collapse, the real victims of this financial gamble could be very everyday American investors, of course. Millions of workers rely on their 401ks and pension funds to secure their futures, and yet as hedge fund place enormous bets on the Wall Street wipeout, these savings accounts could be next to suffer. And it certainly won't take much to push the financial markets over the edge. Those that are propping up simply need to stand aside. So why would they do such a thing? Perhaps the goal would be to send a message to President Trump that they don't like the tariffs that he's imposing. President Trump on Saturday signed an executive order that imposed 25% tariffs on imports from Canada and Mexico, while adding an additional 10% levy on goods from China. Canada responded hours later with retaliatory tariffs of its own, while Mexico said it was also planning to issue tariffs on the U.S. as well. China's Commerce Secretary said that China would challenge the tariffs through the World Trade Organization, according to Reuters, claiming that the move seriously violates WTO rules. And in an ominous post on Twitter, Harvard professor Jason Furman suggested that Trump would soon be forced to back off because of what will happen to the financial markets. Less than 2 weeks in, and 25% tariffs are close allies and 10% on China, plus a credible promise that they will go even higher when there is inevitable retaliation. It's hard to decide if this is worse economic policy or foreign policy, but we'll see if Trump caves to the market. Does Furman know something? It's certainly true that these tariffs will be disruptive. At this stage, even President Trump is admitting that these tariffs could cause some pain, quote unquote. President Donald Trump warned there could be some pain after signing executive orders that imposed stark tariffs on imports from Canada and Mexico, and a 10% duty on imports from China, targeting 3 of America's key trade partners. And this will be the golden age of America. Will there be some pain? Yes, maybe, and maybe not. Trump wrote in an all-caps post on Truth Social Sunday morning, defending the tariffs. He said, "But we will make America great again, and it will be worth the price that must be paid," he said. In response to the tariffs that we have slapped them with, the Canadians have decided to impose high tariffs on many of our goods. Outgoing Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said late on Saturday that Canada will respond by placing 25% counter tariffs on 155 billion Canadian dollars, that's 170 billion American dollars worth of American trade products, with items including beer, wine, bourbon, fruit juices, vegetables, clothes, perfume, household appliances, plastic, and lumber subject to tariff. Hilariously, Canada is going especially hard after alcohol produced in Republican states. If this trade war goes on for an extended period of time, there will be very serious consequences all over North America, but Mexico and Canada will feel more pain than we do. I used to live in Canada. I'm also a Canadian citizen, and I know most of our stuff used to come from the United States. Now, as the first North American trade war begins, some analysts say Mexico and Canada stand to lose more than the United States. The impact on those economies of three-way tariff conflict could be several times larger than in the United States, which is much less dependent on trade, according to the analysts at S&P Global Ratings. Mexican manufacturers in the auto and electrical equipment sectors could see significant output declines once tariffs take hold, according to S&P Global Ratings analysis. In Canada, the biggest losers are likely to be makers of paper products, rubber, and plastics. If you live in Mexico or Canada, brace yourself because economic conditions are about to change very rapidly. Interestingly, all of this economic uncertainty has caused the price of gold to spike, and it has also created a lucrative arbitrage opportunity for the big banks. Fears of imminent tariffs on imports following the election of U.S. President Donald Trump have caused prices for gold futures and COMEX to surge over spot prices in London. Spot prices shot to record highs this week, but the additional premium on COMEX has created a lucrative arbitrage opportunity for the handful of banks that can quickly fly bullion between key trading hubs. One of the big banks that's taking advantage of this lucrative arbitrage opportunity, quote unquote, is JP Morgan. JP Morgan Chase and Company will deliver gold bullion valued at more than $4 billion against futures contracts in New York in February, at a time when surging prices and the threat of import tariffs are fueling a worldwide dash to ship metals to the U.S. We were warned that economic chaos would be coming, and now it is here, and the large hedge funds are lining up to profit from it. It's been said that if you want to know what's really going on, just follow the money. In this case, it's telling us that enormous turmoil is on the horizon. And this is on the Economic Collapse blog by Michael Snyder. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. This is by Michael Snyder, and about the author. Michael Snyder's new book entitled Why is available on paperback and for Kindle on Amazon. He's also written 8 other books that are available on Amazon, including Chaos, End Times, 70 Apocalypse, Lost Prophecies of the Future of America, The Beginning of the End, and Living a Life That Really Matters. When you purchase any of Michael's books, you help to support the work that he's doing. You can also get his articles by email as soon as he publishes them by subscribing to his Substack newsletter. Michael has published thousands of articles on the Economic Collapse blog, End of the American Dream, and the Most Important News, and he's always freely and happily allowed others to republish those articles on their own websites. These are such troubled times and people need hope. John 3:16 tells us about the hope that God has given us through Jesus Christ. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. If you have not already done so, we strongly urge you to invite Jesus Christ to be your Lord and Savior today. Support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.